What is good, YouTube? It's Jay Coffee back again with another hip hop blog for you guys. Got some hip hop news, so check it out, man. I don't know if you guys caught the interview that the Uncensored Truth podcast, that channel. I know they got like a couple different channels, but it's basically the same dude. Sometimes it's viral hip hop or whatever. But they had Lil Zane on there, right? And I was so unaware of so much of this stuff that Lil Zane was talking about. Like, for real, I don't know, man. It's a crazy situation with Lil Zane, Like, I remember way back, what was it, like 98, 99, he was on the 112 Anywhere track. And, he killed it on that. That was dope. I remember him on the next Friday soundtrack, that Money Stretch song. They had a video, it was making its rounds and rotation on BET, MTV. I even had the single. It was like on the B side of the Ice Cube joint, that You Can Do It. You know what I mean? With Mac 10 and that girl that sang the hook from the next Friday soundtrack. The Money Stretch was on the B side. So, and then Zane also went on to release his own solo joint in 2000 or 2001, that Young World or whatever it was called. But it was like Zane fell off in obscurity to me. Like, I'm not going to call Zane trash. I thought he had some skill. You know what I mean? Definitely had some commercial appeal. But he just kind of disappeared, And even though, like I said, he had some talent, for some reason, he always kind of gave me the popish type vibe I got from his music. But I can still rock with an artist that puts out pop music. You know what I mean? Even though I prefer an artist like Nas or someone like that, who's a spitter, like an MC, I still can rock with some of that commercial pop stuff. Like, if I cop an album and it's half pop, like, I don't want to call it pop, but like radio songs, and then half, like true MC type stuff, that's cool with me. I can get with both kinds of music. So I don't want to call Zane whack, but he definitely had that pop kind of vibe. And he had a song off his own album that was kind of, it was an okay track as well. I believe 112 was on that too. But then all I remember from this dude is him being on the in Dr. Dolittle. And I don't remember much from this guy. I was surprised to see he released 3 albums, basically 4, but one was like shelved, but it was a complete album. And he had like 4 mixtapes. But he's on this interview talking about beef with Young Buck, beef with Meek Mill. And I'm like, damn, man, like, how did I miss all this? This guy's got all this big beef with these well-known artists and everything. Like, I missed this, And I don't know, like, you guys let me know what you thought of Lil Zane as a rapper. But unless I missed some of this stuff, and Zane was just doing a lot more than I was aware of, I feel like this man was definitely, I don't want to call it trolling, but he was trying to talk about these situations like they were a lot bigger than they were. He said Buck dissed him on his first album, that he was a fan of Buck, and then Buck dissed him and said something like, you're whack and you disappeared and everything. And Zane was talking about, yeah, I disappeared, but he didn't Ja Rule me. He didn't Ja Rule me, like name dropping Ja Rule. It almost kind of reminds me of that game strategy where you name drop people all the time as much as you can, hoping to catch people's attention. It was kind of like trolling before social media existed, and you could at people and put out viral posts and videos, like Game did when he dissed Meek Mill a few years ago, calling him a rat when his album was about to drop. That's kind of what Lil Zane is starting to come off to me now, like, the more I'm breaking this down and looking at this, because this guy, like I said, he had a couple tracks that I rock with. He seemed like he was up and coming, and then he vanished. And I remember that he was in Dr. Dolittle, which you let him tell it when he was talking to these guys from the Uncensored Truth podcast. He's like, yeah, he didn't Ja Rule me. He said I was the hottest artist in the world, And then I went back to making movies and selling weed. And it's like, I don't remember you from much movies other than Dr. Dolittle. Like I said, everyone, if I'm forgetting something, fill me in. But I feel like, Lil Zane really looked at this interview with these guys as a real possibility to, get his name relevant again. Like, I don't know. It's crazy with certain artists, they seem like they have some promise and some momentum going for them, and then their time just kind of passes and they don't get on, and it seems like that's the way it went for Lil Zane, in my opinion. But he was also talking about how, he's been writing for other artists, and that, like I said, he said Meek Mill dissed him, and that he was working in the lab in the studio with one of Meek's artists, and Meek was paying him to write for him and school this artist up. And then when Meek's project came out, Meek dissed him too. Like, I'm surprised, man. Like, when did all this happen, Like I said, I'm not calling this man trash. I liked some of his some of the music I heard from him, but like I said, I just remember the 112 joint. I remember Money Stretch. I listened to his first project that he put out, that Young World joint or whatever, but after that, I really don't remember anything from him, And then, a quick half-ass internet research, there's some DJ Vlad interviews out there where he name drops people as well, and, it is what it is. But I was dying when I heard him say, like, I was like, this man done bumped his head when he said, I was the hottest artist in the world. But I went back to making movies, and selling weed. That was funny to me. But hey, God bless him. As always with these blogs, I ain't trying to attack the man. Hey, maybe this interview that he did with these guys can get him some publicity. Maybe he can get back to the music. Maybe he can come out with a smash hit, with the internet nowadays. Everyone's just one viral video away from blowing up. You can go from being unknown to being on top of the game. But I just found this funny that, Lil Zane was on here name dropping all these, well, not all these, but, Young Buck and Meek Mill, like, and I was unaware that he had beef with these two artists. I also seen, he had an interview out there where he said 50 Cent should have signed him over Buck, because the Uncensored podcast dudes were like, what was your situation with 50 and Buck? And he was like, oh, there was no situation. Buck dissed me on his first album. I was a fan, etc. But blah, blah, blah. And I kind of feel like maybe these guys, they did a quick internet research and seen on the Wikipedia that there's a section about Young Buck, so they just asked him about it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have that much material to work with to talk to Lil Zane about. I wonder if Lil Zane reached out to them for the interview, honestly. But he was saying, look at Young Buck. Look where he's at now. He made fun of me because the way my career went. Well, look at him now. So, I don't know. And, on this channel, I feel a certain way about Young Buck. It is what it is. But tap it in the comments, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Lil Zane was hot all these years and I'm just tripping. I don't know, but I thought Lil Zane just disappeared, man. But yeah, Lil Zane, all this beef with top artists that no one never even knew about. It's crazy, man. So get in the comments. Let me know if you guys seen that interview as well, your thoughts on it all. Make sure to sub to the channel. Daily videos, as always, for any of the new viewers out there. Music, news, sports, and more. Hit the bell, guys. I'm out of here. It's J Coffee Talk. Peace.